We continue in our look at the book of Ecclesiastes, the third chapter, beginning the second half of verse 2 and then continuing into verse 3. It says, "A time to plant and a time to pluck up what is planted, a time to kill and a time to heal, a time to break down and a time to build up." And so it's talking about certain cycles that take place in our lives, that take place in nature, that take place in so many different ways. And of course, we want to resist. We want to resist, having to pluck up or kill or break down. You don't want to be involved in that kind of thing. No. We want to be the ones who are planting. We want to be the ones who are healing. We want to be the ones who are building up. But you see, that's just not how nature works. It won't work to just plant seeds in a bed of weeds, and I've got to get out there and fight for the life of my bushes that are being strangled by vines and things like that. And you got to get out there and do this gritty, hard, messy work that always, cuts me up and, makes me grimy and filthy. And there's work that needs to be done in order for there to be the space for there to be planting and healing and growing and building up. And that there needs to be this tearing down. It just has to happen. And of course, we don't like that part of it. We don't like going through the change. We don't like going through the saying goodbye to the things that used to be good but now are no good anymore. And so that we can say hello to the new thing that needs to happen. And that's certainly true in our lives. It's certainly true in the church, that, saying goodbye to those things that were once wonderful but no longer are doing their effective job is a difficult thing. And, we face unprecedented challenges with COVID. And so how do we meet those challenges? Well, not with answers from 1955. They mostly aren't going to work. Now, of course, the principles that were behind those, answers are still applicable. We just need to be able to apply them to a new situation and come up with new solutions to those things. And if we only want to resist, it's just like a leaf trying to resist the river that is carrying it downstream. It would just be a struggle, an endless struggle to try to hold back the tide, to hold back the river's flow. It can't be done. Instead, we need to be as joyful as we can be. Rejoice in all things. Paul tells us, and it's tough, but he had it tough himself, so maybe he has the right to say it. Let's go through those difficult times. Let's pull those weeds. Let's untangle those vines and get them away from the fruitful things that could be happening in our lives. I know it's tough, and sometimes we have to look at our own sin and we have to recognize that we've got to pull back from that and get rid of that so that we can be more fruitful. That's how the world works. It is a constant cycle of building up and tearing down, plucking up what is planted and planting. I mean, these things have to happen together, like the yin and the yang of Eastern spiritual thought. They are necessary parts. Without one, you cannot have the other. So let us not struggle against those difficult things that we have to do in order to build up and create and bring what is needed for the next challenges and the new generation. Amen.